And every week, we sit on my bed and have a conversation about something we want to talk about. And this week, we're going to talk about a situation that I've been in and a bunch of other kids have been and how I handled it.
All right, I think we talked about this during the week, and
Yes.
when thinking about a podcast topic, I've been told by a bunch of friends, hey, I'm glad that you and Eden talked about this on the podcast because it helped my kids understand certain things or my kids feel better about certain things. Like I remember one specifically about a loose tooth and a friend's saying, well, that her son was really nervous about losing a tooth, and then you talked about it and you said, oh, okay, no big deal. So as you were telling me about this story this week, I thought this would make for a good conversation for the podcast. So go ahead.
So, I was playing with my two friends at the park. And it all started when we were just having a good time. But then, one of my friends wanted to tell the other friend about this secret that they had. But they couldn't tell me. So she started to take her aside. And I thought, and I told them, I was thinking, well, you're taking her aside when we're all playing together, but you can't tell me. So that's one on how it started leaving me out.
Mm-hmm.
So then I said, what not? That
Well, what did
wasn't
you say?
okay.
Yeah, so
I said,
so take us through. What exactly did you do? Say, how did you approach it?
She started to pull her away, and I said, if you're not going to tell me the secret and we're all playing together, tell her when you guys are just playing together. Because you're making me feel left out here.
Yeah.
So when you're not making anybody feel left out, just do it when you're together. Without anyone else.
Right. So it wasn't about...
I don't even know what it was about.
I don't want to assume something here, but did you really want to know the secret?
No.
Okay. So it wasn't about the secret. It was about being left out.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
So then they say okay, and they'll do it later, and we go to the swings. Then we're on the swings, and we're taking turns on one swing because the other's not available. So one of my friends goes on, and then it's my turn. And then there are some baby swings and the big swing. So I'm on the big swing, and then my friend goes to the baby swing just to play on there. Then, instead of waiting, my friend goes over, and they're very good friends together also. So she's like, I'm going to go over there. So then I swing for a few minutes, about the same time as my other friend did, and I said, okay, it's your turn. And the one next to her, the baby swing, isn't open. She said, I don't want to anymore. I'm hanging out over here. So then I said, and it happened a lot that day. And I said to her, you're leaving me out a lot, and you've been doing it a lot today that it seemed intentional. And when I said, because I don't want to assume that it is, and I said, it's not, I'm not saying it is intentional, but I'm not saying it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you've been leaving me out a lot, and it doesn't make me feel good. And I said, if these things when you're hanging out together like a secret, if you could just do it when you're together without me, so I don't feel left out. And I'm not angry at you, basically.
Yeah, I just want
you to be just more aware of it when we play. And that was
And then what was the response from her?
The response was that she ran away. And she got angry.
Right. So because you've been in this situation before where if something is done, that you'll say, I don't understand why someone would do this, and you address it, and then there's no response.
And I felt like I felt like I was being calm there, not angry at her, not screaming at her, but not saying, oh yeah.
Right, you weren't. Yeah, exactly. I feel like you, from the sounds of it, you addressed it in a really mature way. Hey, this is what I'm feeling, and
I think
how can we fix this?
I think the important thing of when you're addressing to someone is that you have to tell them what they're doing and how it's making you feel, and from their response, and then say, like, if you're saying it like you're doing this, you don't always have, like, you can say, I'm not saying that, like here I said, like, if you try to address it, like, in a way you could say, like, it feels intentional, if they're doing it a lot,
Right, it
you
feels
can say it feels intentional, but when you say that, because it might not be, so you have to say,
Right, you don't want to accuse
it might
them of
not, like,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying you're doing it, or you're not, but you're not.
But this is how it's making me feel.
Right.
So just
Those
be
are, like,
so
the
just
two
be
main things
aware
to
of it.
address is what they're doing, how they can fix it, and how you feel.
Has when and I'm sure this happens to everybody, if someone has come up to you and said, "Hey Eden, you're making me feel this way,
Yeah.
a certain way," how have you handled that if you're on the other side?
On the other side, I would have said, okay, I'll be more aware of that next time we play, and I'll try to make sure I don't do that again.
Right, because it's not intentional.
No, and
Yeah,
you're not
and
saying it to try to make me feel, oh, you did this, you're like a bad friend. It's just like, try to just be aware of this next time.
right, because what if?
It hurts my feelings.
Yeah, and
Like-
why would you want to hurt
Right.
someone's feelings? You
And
would just say
I might
I'm
not know,
sorry.
and I might not know that I'm doing it.
exactly.
So it's good that you just got to address it to them because they might not know.
Yeah, and you need the acknowledgement from the other person to say, "Oh yeah, you know what? Yes, you're right. It was not intentional.
Like, not your first
and I'm
response.
sorry."
Should always be running away
Right,
or
of course
being
not.
angry.
Yeah, or defensive, like,
Or
"Oh,
also-
I wasn't doing that," or
The
this,
next-
that.
yeah.
Like,
Or
yeah, I get it.
the next thing also shouldn't be totally ignoring the fact of what they told you.
Yeah, because that's not like even if you don't think you did something wrong, if a friend is telling you something,
Right.
it as a friend, you need to listen and take their feelings into consideration. Because if they don't, then they're not a friend.
Right. And then the next thing she said was, oh, I need to talk to her privately. Like, that's ignoring, basically.
Right, and if you were so say you were the other person in that situation, so not you, not the person directly impacting you, but the other person, I would hope that you would stand up and say, "No, this isn't the time to tell a secret. We're just playing," and then move on.
Right.
Because you understand how that impacts
Yeah.
everybody.
Or, like, maybe you don't want to tell both people at the same time, so you might say, okay, I want to tell both of you a secret, but can I tell you now? Like, but it wouldn't even make sense.
There's no reason
no, like,
to even
oh,
bring
tell-
up a secret.
Yeah, when you're
in-
playing.
Exactly.
That's like only need, but you wouldn't need it.
Right. What is the emergency
Right.
at that point? Like, I have to. What?
To tell a secret?
Right. In that
Absolutely.
position, that's one person trying to make themselves feel powerful.
Powerful.
Right.
Like the queen or king
Right.
country ruling the
Mhm.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So as soon as you realize that sort of power dynamic, then you can read between the lines and think, no. So the secret isn't what's important. She's just trying to make me feel bad to make herself
Yeah.
feel better and make herself feel like
Yeah,
she's
powerful.
queen to
Right.
this other person.
I don't care if she tells the other person the secret. I don't care what it is. I just care. The only thing I care is it's just like, do it at a separate time when I'm not around or when no one else is.
Yeah, exactly. Have you felt that have there been certain things that have happened in school this year? Because I know we've talked about expectations of people and not just writing somebody off, and giving them another chance or seeing how they respond to
Different things.
different things when you bring it up. If you think that person could be a better friend, you're in third grade now.
Yeah.
Have you found that kids have been more mature from last year, or less, or
Less.
just less? Okay.
I think just people, I've given them like a bunch of chances, but they just haven't taken them.
Yeah, and that's tough to deal with when trying to find real true friendships, as opposed to just like kids you play with and they're fine, but no one that you feel like, I can really trust
Yeah.
that person. Which is disappointing. And when trying to form those types of friendships, and then you also wonder, like, so what are these other friendships like? If this person is going to treat me like this,
Right. And
How-
I've
what-
noticed this
what
with
are they
a
doing to
bunch
the
of
others?
people. Like, I've noticed this. Like, with one of my friends, it hasn't been worked out, but because they haven't been treating me very well. But then, in the other friendship, I've noticed, it's fine. So, it's just...
What do you mean? Say again?
Like, it's fine in the other friendship together, but it's not with me. It's like they treat me differently than they treat someone else, which is another thing.
Right, it's just a matter of respect.
Yeah, just respect.
Yeah, and being treated the way that you'd like to
Right.
be treated. It's,
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, seems like something pretty simple to follow.
It's not hard.
No.
Like, basically, it's like, I wouldn't want to be mean to you so I wouldn't want someone to be mean to me, basically.
Right. What's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole lot easier to be kind than it is to be mean to somebody.
Yeah.
It's almost like being mean.
It's like hard.
You have to go out of your way to be mean.
It's like basically, it's like there's a brick wall between kind and mean. But you're usually on the kind side. But you have to like, break the bricks with your hands, basically, to be on the mean.
Yeah,
side.
you gotta like think about it and try to do it, which
it's
which
like,
makes it disappointing.
Who wants to?
Yeah, why would you want to spend your time doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad the way you handled it, and I would just continue to handle it that way. And eventually you'll find people with enough respect for themselves and self-esteem and self-respect for themselves that they have that same type of respect for you. I'm proud of you. Love you.
Love you.